I am going to be starting a embroidery project. This is actually going to be the second embroidery project that I have worked on so far. I shared in a video recently that one of the things that I decided to do for Christmas for my mom was I made her an embroidery bookmark. And so that was the first time I'd ever done this before, and I really enjoyed the process. So I thought, you know what, this is probably going to be a new hobby that I pick up. And I found this kit off Amazon about like a week ago, and I really, really love it. I thought it was so perfect for me because I love books. And so I thought that it'd be fun to do some videos where I just work on this project. And I do plan to do other embroidery projects on this channel also. I know this is books and journaling, hence the name of my channel, but I do want to do a little bit of crafting because I find that very relaxing to watch, and I know a lot of people do as well. So this kit, it came with obviously the hoop, the pattern. It came with two little needles as well as a thread, but it did not come with a threader, which you definitely need to have in my opinion. So we just had one of these laying around the house, and that's what I chose to use. Now keep in mind when you're watching this video, I am not at all perfect at embroidery. I am definitely what you would call a beginner. However, you know, we all have to learn, in my opinion. So this pattern, I did try my best to follow the pattern, like the instructions as best as I could. However, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and kind of do this my own way because I wanted this to look like the shelf pattern, part of this pattern, I wanted it to look like a wicker piece of furniture, if that makes sense. My nail cabinet that I have, it is wicker, and I really, really liked that. So I wanted to kind of see if I could replicate that, and I was able to. Like I said, I am a beginner into embroidery, but I do plan to work on some other projects. So in this video, I'm just going to be doing the actual bookshelf part of this project, and I did not film every single stitch that I did because I didn't want this video to be too long. But in total, I think this took me maybe, for anyone who's curious about how long it took me, I think it took me about, I want to say maybe about an hour-ish. Yeah. So I was trying to do the pattern based on what I was looking at on that photo on the photo of the kit there. In this little section here, but then I was like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and see if I can try to turn this into like a pattern that looks like a piece of wicker furniture, like I said, and I really liked it. I have not worked on this project since I filmed this video. I've been working on some other things, but I will say though that I am a little bit nervous to see like how it goes with doing the books, because I really want to make them look like books, if that makes sense. Like that sounds so strange, but I don't want to make the books accidentally look like they're part of like the wicker furniture. um like I said, this is the second embroidery project that I have worked on, so I am, like I said, definitely a beginner to this. I come from a family that likes to do all of like the older type crafts, apparently, as they're now considered. Like my mom, she used to knit a lot. She also does tatting, crocheting, or not crocheting. She does tatting and quilling. And, you know, my grandmother, she loves to do those type of crafts also. Like she likes to do, she likes to sew, she likes to make quilts, all that type of stuff. So I kind of have like that. I kind of just like watching, or I should say, I really enjoy watching when people do like that crafting on Instagram. I think it's really, really relaxing. And I have found a lot of people doing embroidery, and it's almost like mesmerizing to watch people do that type of stuff. It's like when I watch cake decorating or cookie decorating, it's really just almost fascinating, and it kind of just makes you stop and just like try to guess what they're going to do next. And I just find it really relaxing. I used to watch Food Network a lot. I still do to some degree. But I used to watch a lot of those like cake, like baking competitions. And it was always so cool because I was like, how do people come up with that type of stuff? So as you can see, we're starting to get the look of the wicker furniture here. And I will say though, that when I did the project for my mom, I did follow the pattern obviously, but I kind of took it into my own hands and like what colors I wanted to use. And I'm thinking that with this pattern, I'm going to stick to the colors that are on the photo because I think that'd be really fun to do. I don't think you technically have to do the colors exact of what the photo says. Like I think you can, get creative and use whatever colors that you want for something. But I'm a person who partially wants to do it according to the pattern, but at the same time, it's like I kind of want to put my own spin on it. In this case, I knew I wanted the furniture or the book like shelf part of this pattern to be the color in the photo, and I might change, I haven't decided yet, I might change the color of the flowers from what the photo says. I don't know yet. But I do know that I wanted this cat little piece of furniture to be the same color as the pattern. Like I said, the kit did not include a needle threader, which I thought was really kind of weird because the last kit that I did, it did include one, and I will be honest, that little needle threader, it was really cute. It was a little flower. That thing was a pain in the tushy to use, and it broke on me. It literally broke on me, and it was like so flimsy. It was weird. My grandmother had another one of them. Thankfully, that was basically the one I'm using now. But I thought it was a little strange that this pattern came with the pattern itself, the hoops, the thread, two little needles, but no, needle threader. And the last pattern that I did, it came with like multiple needles, like in multiple sizes. This one just gave you two, and it was the exact same size. So I'm sure that every pattern obviously is different, and like every company is gonna give you something different when you purchase something, but I would have thought that they would have included a needle threader, and they didn't. Just like I would have thought that they would have included like other sizes of needles in case, it was easier for someone to use a bigger needle or something like that, but that's just my personal opinion. Like I said, I did cut some of this out because I didn't film, I should say, some of this because I didn't want this video to be too long. I don't know how long this project is going to take me, to be honest, because I'm one of those people where I get this mentality from my family where you start a project and you're like, I'm going to just work on this project gradually. And you tell yourself that. You do that for like 2 days. I'm going to work on this project gradually. I'm going to work on this project gradually. And then next thing you know is the next day you're spending 5 hours on a project and you complete it. That's kind of what happens with my family. And I'm kind of the same way. So part of me is like, you're going to work on this project gradually. But at the same time, I also know that I'm probably just going to sit down and just finish this one day. When this is done, I haven't decided yet, I might make this either my profile photo on Instagram for my book and journaling account, or I might make this my profile photo for this YouTube channel. I haven't decided yet. I like the one I have, but I haven't decided yet. I do know that there will be a playlist on my channel for embroidery projects for anyone who's interested in that. I will say though that the one thing I also really enjoyed about this kit is that the kit came with a piece with like the pattern being a piece of fabric, because I thought that was way easier to work with instead of having like a pattern piece that you have to like put on a piece of fabric and then do the embroidery hoop over. So I was really happy that it was like this, and I think going forward when I look at embroidery projects, I'm going to have to make sure that they have this type of fabric with it, because I actually really preferred this over the one that I did last year, but that's just my personal opinion. And for anyone who is like wondering about like the instructions on the kit here, the instructions, they tell you how to do each stitch, and they actually show you, which I should have showed more, and I might do that in the second part of this video. Um, they tell you, like they point to each part of the project and they tell you like what color to use. They tell you what stitch to use, that way you know, which I think is really helpful. But like I said, I tend to just follow patterns at the same time, but at the same time it's like I'm gonna kind of make this my own, if that makes sense. So I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do with that, but so far I really like how this turned out. I can't decide what thing I'm going to work on next with this project, if it's going to be the flowers or if it's going to be like one row of books at one time. I haven't decided yet. But I will definitely be doing like part 1, part 2, part 3 to this type project. I don't know how long it's going to take me, like I said. Here I got kind of confused on how I was going to tie that knot, so this was kind of like a little blooper. Anyway, I hope this video was relaxing and enjoyable. So yeah, that is it for this video. Like I said, I will be doing other parts to this to finish this project.